So, okay, I take this first. Good afternoon. It's very great pleasure for me to be here. I know that University of Kyoto is a wonderful university, and this is now my first trip to Japan, but that has been very intensive. This is already in a few days the third seminar I give. But the two first seminars were for non-scientific communities, and there I only focused in the general aspects of the Finnish educational system. But then we agreed with Professor Imai that now this is more a kind of scientific seminar with scientists, and I balance a little bit so that there is some general issues about the Finnish educational system, and particularly this kind of analysis we have made about the challenges we have, and then how we have tried to answer as researchers to these challenges, and what has been the impact of this research, and of course there are many things to do. But I only focus in this part of the research where what we have been doing in my own research group, and what has been the impact of that, and how it is how the themes of our research have been inspired by the findings of the in the Finnish schools and the Finnish educational system. Okay, first I go to some of the general issues. So that it's during last decades. In very many international comparisons, Finnish students have been among the top achieving students in the world. It has been varying a little bit depending on the year and depending on the international comparison study, but this kind of high-level achievement has been in reading. That was in fact the first one where Finnish students were very good in international comparisons, and then since that, reading has been one of the strength areas. In some measures also mathematics, but mathematics has always been a bit problematic in for example team studies. It has not been so good. In some PISA studies it has been very good. A little bit same in science. And then in foreign languages there is very brand new results showing that particularly learning English in Finland is quite good, so that young people, the English proficiency of young Finnish people is quite high in the international comparisons, and then also problem solving skills, which have been measured for example in PISA and some other studies. But from the point of view of educational researchers, and I think that if we only focus on this kind of studies which are looking achievement in individual tests, it is much too limited and narrow view when we try to evaluate what is really the quality of an educational system. Educational systems are not, should not be developed for producing individual good test scores. Educational systems have much larger tasks in the society. They have to contribute to the society in the much more kind of deeper way, not only in producing this kind of methods. This kind of broader evaluations of the functioning of educational systems have also been made, but not so much, and they are not so popular than these studies which focus on individual test achievement. One of these studies is the World Economic Forum study, which has evaluated in a more holistic way how educational institutions are contributed. In this case, more to the economy of the country, but some of the things are also related more broadly to the civil society and the development of civil society. And this is the kind of summary table of this World Economic Forum study of the global competitiveness report, which is relatively recent report, and they have looked first how the institutions are contributing to the society, and also the educational system as whole, and the educational administration and these institutions are included here in the institutions. And then what is related to education as well is then this aspect where they have looked how the society is taking care of health, well-being and learning of young children, so that they focus on health and primary education, and then they focus on also on higher education, so that in this overall analysis there are three kind of different perspectives which are related to education, and there the Finnish system made very well, so that it was evaluated as a world leading in these institutions, and also in the health and primary education, and then in the higher education system it was together with Singapore in the top, and Singapore was the world leading, and then Finnish higher education system was considered the top in Europe. And this is a different analysis than the university rankings, for example, which takes some few indicators, Nobel Prizes or publications in science and nature, and this kind of indicators, and then make rankings. This is analysis how the institutions contribute to the society and the economical development in society. And because of that, the results are a bit different. Then when we think from the societal point of view, the role of education, it is important not only to look the average results at how good test scores students get if we focus on the test achievement, but it is also important that how equally the system is developing students or giving opportunities for students to learn. And this equality aspect has been studied, some of the international comparisons, and recently OECD tried to summarize some of the achievement test results and compared them with an index they developed which describes how equally the educational support, the educational system is supporting students coming from different socio-economical backgrounds.